What's up people, today I'm gonna show you something really stupid I did in the past few days. I was planning to do this for a really long time and I finally had a chance. Now I could do it whenever I wanted, but I didn't, cause what if someone saw me do this sin? They would be disgusted. If you haven't guessed it already, I tried catfishing. Okay, before all of this starts, I wanna tell you guys why I'm using this bad clip, like this horrible gameplay. Well, it's actually reverse psychology. It's big brain actually, so that you get bored by watching this gameplay and actually listen to what I have to say. And it's all according to plan, and it's not because I'm bad at the game. Now, why did I do this? The whole catfishing thing. Well, there are two main reasons. One is selfish, and the other one is, well, for the community. The first one being, well, I got catfished 3 times already now, and you expect me not to do this? You expect me not to be on the other side for once. The second one being, well, I just wanted to know how people actually talk to girls, like for real. I can't hold a conversation, a long conversation. I'm straight up, what do you call someone that's not a Chad? I'm that, and most of you might be too, I guess, so that's why this is for the community as well. I realized I couldn't hold up a conversation when my biscuit couldn't ask me.
Hey, what do we talk about, Ulu?
And I said anime, just like a typical unchat man. My kitten didn't used to watch any anime, and I always had a hard time talking with her. I just had nothing to talk about, and I thought, what would an actual chat do in this specific situation? How would they converse in not so boring way and take the lead of the conversation? Make it a little bit more exciting and interesting. So anyways, this is why I performed my experiment in dating apps. I started a catfish account. Mission Catfish All Dude had just started. I applied on 3 to 4 dating apps and dropped in Tinder and this app called Tantan, or I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sure it's Tantan, right? Anyway, so well, they didn't accept me because they wouldn't allow an anime girl pic to be used. I think it's kind of unfair, because what would an actual anime girl do if they wanted to date? I can't believe Tinder and Tantan didn't even consider that. Anyways, there was this one app that I got invested in because the people there would super like an anime girl picture, this in hopes of dating one. Well, I made this account at 12 a.m. and slept, only to find out that I got 6 super likes and that app only had like 100k downloads. Like, what the fuck, man? You're still awake after 12 a.m? Go to bed. And you just super like a girl with anime profile. Well, I didn't care because it was going in my favor. I had no idea what I should be doing. I thought people would come message you, but you actually had to text first. The person that got super liked or something. I don't know if I'm still in the talk here. But anyways, I texted every guy hi who sent me a super like. Now, not to make this video really long, I'm only gonna go to the interesting ones. So my dating profile build consisted of me being a girl, obviously, and I'm 21 years old with a cool ass name. My first guinea pig was this guy who was just 23. I had absolutely no idea what to text first. I mean, I had to say something because he didn't have the permission to text first. I played it simple by using the app built in something, I don't know, love calculator percentage. I did that and waited for a few minutes to get a response. I didn't get any, so I just said hi. He replied back immediately and asked how I was. I replied casually and he sent me this GIF of a Looney Tunes bunny with heart-shaped eyes. Motherfucker was already in love after getting a text from a girl. Who's that desperate? We introduced each other and he immediately asked for my Viber or WhatsApp. I don't know if this was unintentional of him or he really wanted my number, because he said that this app is shit and he really needs my number so we can chat. And other apps, I don't know if he was a big brain or he just unintentionally asked my number. I said I'll think about it, and then he asked if I was okay to talk a bit openly. My definition of talking openly was far from what he meant at the time. He went on to say he wanted to sext. How do you pronounce it? Sexting basically. And I didn't know what to say because I wasn't here to have that kind of conversation. I just wanted to learn about an interesting topic to talk. He went on asking weird things like if I had any physical relation, like really personal stuff. I denied it all. Like, this was totally not what I wanted, but I went with it for the love of the sport. He occasionally used to send me weird ass GIF as time passed, and used to nag me for my number a lot, and I eventually had to give him my number because this app was so trash. It only used to work at night, and I had an awful experience, not only because of this guy, but also because of the app itself. Well, I gave him my personal number, like I'm just going all out here, and that was kind of a mistake that I saw it coming. Hey, it's the person who does the dirty work of creating illusion. I am the editor. My bitch ass thought I could edit the whole video with ease, but just by doing this much, I mean by adding chat box, I knew this thing was beyond my power, so I decided to cut some corner and use a fake conversation app which allows you to be on both sides, and I can try and imitate the real conversation. Now, if you ask, well, Lusty, you could just use the real conversation, but I have a reason not to. First, my dumbass mistakenly deleted one of the longest chat, and I'm just going back and forth in my memory to elucidate what happened. And second, the most important reason is that the chats are in different language. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to use this app and make my life less miserable. Here's a quick little update. I decided to give everybody a profile picture, but then I realized I didn't have any pictures. So instead, I used memes. How cool of me, right? So yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Then in Viber, he asked me about my fantasy. Now, I really wanted to quit it, but he kept nagging me all the time, and I just told him something weird, and then I went off without telling him. The next day, he sent me a good morning text and a hi. I was so bored, I even dropped the idea of catfishing as a whole. Just a day before, I was so invested, but now I just didn't feel like it. I thought I would stop doing this, so I ignored him all day, and I don't know what happened to me. All that enthusiasm to catfish revived automatically in my body again at night. Then I replied to him, and he again sent me this weird ass GIF of a guy hugging a girl. Motherfucker called me later in my cell phone, and I rejected it. He said it was him, so why didn't I pick up? I know that it's you, that's why I didn't pick it up. I said I'm text only. I ignored him again like all women do. And then again at next night, I was super into catfishing. At this point, I was gonna give it my all. I listened to every weird shit he said, and later I realized I was the one carrying the conversation. He was only the weird part, and I was the one sending long messages, and he would reply the answers. This was exactly what I didn't want to happen, because I was looking for it the other way around. I don't know, maybe my texting skills are so polished that I always happen to carry the conversation, and it's just that the other person in the other end is always so boring. Anyways, I tried to back off a little. I was holding back my fingers so I don't text too long, something a girl would never do. I used to do what my kitten used to do to me. I replied with IDK and no, and just short form text. I even called him bro at a point, and dude got super mad. The last straw for me was when this guy went extra creepy by telling me he's gonna make me feel better. He said, trust me, I'm gonna take you to a ride. He asked if I was wearing anything. I was really hoping he bought me a dress, but then he asked me to take it off. Also, this was at night when I told him I'm at my bed. He asked me if I masturbate. I said, yeah, sometimes, but not a lot. He then went on saying, I'm gonna take your masturbating to next level. I'm gonna make you feel like you have never felt before. I'm gonna make you feel like I'm physically there, and you're gonna have sex with me. Dude literally told me this, and I just said okay, just okay. Then he went on fucking me virtually. Guy thinks this actually works. He was trying to make me horny with his text. This motherfucker went step by step. First touch yourself and imagine I'm there with you. Just a bunch of sexting and imagine I'm with you. Blah blah blah, imagine I'm with you. I got totally weirded out by this. Even if I was a girl, I would have been, cause dude, this doesn't work. Not at all. For real, this guy was trying to satisfy me with his verse and command. My stupid ass who was sleepy told, wow, it worked, and I feel refreshed. And I said I'm gonna sleep. He told me I can't go to bed yet. I ignored it and went to bed anyway, just like a typical girl. Next morning, he said that we're gonna do the same thing we did the previous day again. I had enough of this, and I explained that I didn't like it at all. He went on saying that if we could meet in person, he would make me feel a lot better, and I just told him that I want to focus on my studies and it'd be better if we broke up. that's how my 1 week relationship in Catfish account ended. Guys like this are a total red flag. They just want sex and nothing else. I even asked him if he wanted to build an actual relationship with marriage and stuff, and he backed off and said he isn't so sure, but he might eventually. But the way he said, I knew it wasn't serious. He was just a horny dude who only wanted to talk about sex. Totally not what I wanted. Moving on, now this is one of my favorite, and it's also kind of short. I had a bit of respect for this man, but he ruined it at the end. He was also the guy who super liked my anime girl pic, which is Hinata from Naruto. I said hi and he replied hi, and I didn't want it to be the one carrying the conversation again, so this time I was super careful not to text too much. Then later, maybe after a few hours, he said, "Do you go beyond hi?" I said, "Since it was you who super liked me, shouldn't you be the one to tell me something?" He said, "I'm just tinkering around." And I hate myself for saying this, but I said, "What's up?" Like, I really didn't want to carry the conversation again. He said he was all good, but it's scary to talk to people without DP. What do you mean I don't have a DP? I have a gorgeous picture of Hinata. He said, maybe for you. He acted a little arrogant and said that he only talks to someone who have a human DP, unlike me. I said okay and gave my regards to him. I thought this was over. I was shocked by how chat of a person this was until he texted me this. Apparently there's no one else in this emoji. I said very sad times and didn't say anything else. If he hadn't told that, then I would have been convinced that this guy was different and would go to places, but Next one was super suspicious guy. A bit tricky too. It was like I met a catfish on my own. Now, who super like who? Well, this time it was me. I was just figuring out the controls of this app and I mistakenly super like this weird guy with no DP and with a strange name. They said hi and asked if I was a girl. I said yeah, and you? They said she was also a girl, but I kinda knew she wasn't. I asked how's the app, then she again tried to verify my gender. Are you a he or a she? I said I'm a she. Then this motherfucker said she's into girls and said why don't we talk? I said you're acting kinda like a guy. She said that it's me that's acting like a guy, and I said cause I am one. By this time she, or should I say he, was convinced that I was a girl cause I kind of talk in a girly way. Now this chat box I'm showing isn't the exact replica, but it's kind of similar to how the chat went. I'm gonna refer this person by him. So he asked to give him my identity proof, then my picture and my number, just like that first guy I talked about. But this guy wasn't as creepy going into sex stuff, but this guy also didn't had what I wanted, because more than half of the time, or say full time, I was the one carrying the conversation. This guy just kept nagging about photo, gender, and just nothing special other than answering my stuff. Then later, after talking with him, I called him bro, and I don't know why people in dating app get triggered when girls call them bro. The B word, I guess. This guy too said I'm not a bro and said now he's sure that I'm a girl. Well, I was sure you were a guy. Then this got to a dead end after a few texts later on. Now, the last one is super creepy guy who is 39 years old who just asked my number and fucking demanded it after I said hi, number and picture, and where do you live. I said I'm in the city. He said he's in the city too and asked me to meet him in person. He literally said this to someone who he hasn't interacted even once. We didn't even greet properly and he wants us to meet in person. Plus this guy is 18 years older than me. I said hell no, we haven't even talked properly and you want us to meet in person? Then he said then talk to me and then we meet up. I then ignored this guy, but he still sends me messages time and again. And also I'm still getting calls from the first guy who was trying to seduce me virtually. He texted me saying something about having fun when we meet in person, and by fun he totally meant having sex. Anyway, I didn't get what I wanted. What I wanted was how to tackle awkwardness and dryness in a conversation. Maybe dating app wasn't the place to find about it, because people here are always going on about sex and have zero conversation skill. I mean, I have better texting skill than those methods. I had to carry a conversation even though I didn't want to. 0 out of 10 for catfishing in dating apps. I got nothing in return than this weird guy who calls me and other guy who texts me occasionally. Now I can finally delete this app and not freak out when somebody asks for my phone, because I didn't want them to see this app.